Environmental groups say a new Supreme Court ruling will hurt efforts to keep your air clean, but Wisconsin's largest business group praises it.
Today, the High Court ruling against the Environmental Protection Agency. Our Jason Calvi breaks down what it all means.
In Oak Creek, We Energies burns coal to generate your power. The company also taps water, wind, and sun.
Driving down 94, you may recognize this power plant in the Menominee Valley. It used to be coal-powered, but in 2014 and 2015, it made the transition to natural gas.
It's part of We Energies' plans to voluntarily cut back on pollution.
Based on the 2005 emissions, we are saying a 60% reduction of carbon emissions by end of 2025, 80% by the end of 2030, and then have net zero carbon emissions by 2050.
While it was voluntary for We Energies, what power does the government have to force change? The U.S. Supreme Court's ruling now says the EPA doesn't have broad power to regulate emissions unless Congress approves.
And the immediate impact is going to be minimal because this rule wasn't in place.
That's because the Obama administration announced its Clean Power Plan, which would have required states to cut emissions by transitioning off of coal-fired plants, but it never took effect. The Supreme Court blocked it in 2016, but the change of administrations put it back in court.
In the longer term, this ruling could have major implications for Wisconsin and throughout the country because it dictates how EPA can regulate greenhouse gas emissions.
The Supreme Court says those federal regulations need congressional approval.
Congress is entirely dysfunctional. To think that Congress is going to get their act together soon enough to stave off the worst of our climate issues, I don't have a lot of hope for that.
What comes next might be voluntary, like what transitioned this plant from coal to natural gas. In Milwaukee, Jason Calvi, Fox 6 News.
Wisconsin manufacturers and commerce praising the Supreme Court decision, calling it a win for the rule of law. They say people who answer directly to voters should make the rules. But Clean Wisconsin says this will hurt the state's ability to get off fossil fuels as quickly as possible.